Ty here, your boy Hitchhiker of the Mind, with my boy Ferris Wheel. Todd had joining me. We're going to be talking about Slaanesh today, and what you can do with a sweet agonies of Slaanesh, kind of the god of all the things that you shouldn't do too much of. You know, sex, drugs, rock and roll. You know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll all at the same time. But also, taking it to that one person in the room who always takes it way too far. That's Slaanesh. So we'll be kind of talking about the 40k version of the Slaanesh army, and what you can do with the demonettes and all sorts of the new releases. I'm sure just some new things have been coming out, so we thought it might be fun to talk about. So as far as Slaanesh and 40k, how do you feel about, to get started? Where do you feel like they kind of place as far as power level? Like a good strength army, harder to deal with, like the Grey Knights. Where would you kind of put them?
This is something that's impossible for me to answer because I've never seen anybody try it. It sounds pretty good to me in a lot of ways, but uh, I don't know.
Okay.
But we can explore how it could go.
Okay. That sounds more
That's
fun. I was thinking about it too. I was like, you know what? I've never even heard of anybody running a Slaanesh army. I've heard of
same.
I've heard of, corn armies. I've heard of, and like, I'm assuming like a lot of this will be spiced with Chaos Space Marine, because I feel like a straight up Slaanesh army would be, I guess not anymore. I guess one time it felt hard to build because Slaanesh didn't have too many models out, but she'd been getting a lot of new stuff. Shim has been getting a lot of new stuff. So it might actually be possible now. But as far as what you've been looking at, have you been seeing mostly like a, noise marine mashup sort of thing, like a Emperor's Children Slaanesh combo, or what have you been coming across?
I am interested in using the synergies provided by the demons of Slaanesh.
Nice.
So,
That get in
uh,
there, the
yeah,
rapid.
we're going to be what I think is cool is the locus where you can charge as long as you're with you can charge after advancing as long as you're within 6 inches of a Slaanesh demon character.
Really, that
Yeah,
sounds.
so and that applies to all demons of Slaanesh, including Mauler Fiends, Lords Discordant,
Oh,
Forge Fiends, the new Crawly boy. I can't remember what it's
Venom
called.
Crawler.
Yeah, the Venom Crawler. Decimators, you
Wow,
know, whatever.
that makes the what's his name? I just forgot. The Lord Discordant. That makes him pretty strong with Slaanesh. I feel like
Yeah,
suddenly
yeah.
that he gets even more ridiculous than he is already.
Of course, you could just use Red Corsairs, and then you can run in charge anyway. But
True, but then you don't have
the
that
with
sweet demon mix up.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not as it's not as unnecessarily complicated. Which like, why even play if you're not going to be unnecessarily complicated? Am I right?
I mean, we have seen the simpler armies do better, but I feel like a little complication's never a bad thing. I feel like though, like if you with Slash usually have faster units. I feel like you could like almost use like the smaller, quicker units to get in, and giving your backline just plenty of time to get there because they can advance and charge at the same time, so they don't even have
Yeah,
to make it as far. So I feel like it'd be a great. I'm going there, and I'm thinking that thing right there.
yeah.
And I'd
And all
rather
the demonettes, they move
was it
uh
18?
pretty fast.
Like
They
something
move seven
stupid.
inches, and then they can run and charge as well, the same way that anything else can, as long as it's near a character.
Oh yeah, see.
So that's not bad. A maximum of a 13-inch move, and then you charge.
Now, does that trait count for demon princes since they're technically
Yeah,
characters? Oh man, come on! You get
yeah,
your demon princes to fly forward, and then everybody runs, and then they're within 6 inches, and they just keep running. That's pretty fucking cool. I like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Use some warp time on like a Lord Discordant to move twice and then charge.
man, that seems real good.
Hmm.
And now,
And you just go for like a threat overload. Just put as many threats as possible on the table, and then run forward and ram it down your opponent's throat. That's like the only way to go.
I mean, that does seem like the very appropriate way to play a Slaanesh army. And so, have you built kind of an example list yet, or?
No, I had an example list before, but they changed the Keeper of Secrets so that it's stronger and way more expensive.
And
And
did
I
it get
was
a new model too?
considering, yeah, it did.
Nice.
I was considering using it when it was 160 points
That's pretty
because it
good.
was less than a Demon Prince. And even though it could be shot, it was like, well, I'll just take three of them and then I'll just run forward
Bada
and
bam.
we'll see what happens. So I'm not
What's the new
I guess
cost
I'm
on
not
them?
entirely certain what we should be doing. The new cost is 240 points, which is a lot
What the?
more.
Does it survivability better at least? So you don't
Yeah,
have to bring three. You could bring two.
it is now. We'll just go over the new profile. Toughness 7, 16 wounds. I think it was 12 wounds before.
4 wounds. That's pretty good.
And it has -1 to hit it in close combat and a 5 up invuln as far as improving its survivability.
Not the worst in Vuln. I'm sure there's isn't there delightful agonies? Or you can give them the what's it called?
Yeah,
The
you can
elixir.
cast Delightful Agonies, but it's only a 6 up invuln if you're casting it from, or 6 up Feel No Pain if you're casting it from demon side.
Yeah.
And the elixir is for Chaos Space Marine Demon Princes only.
Oh, okay.
You can't put it on a Keeper of Secrets.
Okay. I feel like the delightful agonies for to have the feel no pain after the invuln would be, but give him a bit more survivability.
Yeah, but it's only a 6 up, so
True.
it's pretty bad. I mean,
It's statistically unlikely that it's gonna come, be of huge use, but I guess it would be something.
yeah,
Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything that improves for Slaanesh, and that's the thing. Like Slaanesh is, I was looking at the spells all seem useful until you read them all the way, and you're like, oh wait, that's okay. Yeah.
yeah. Their sickest spell lets you fight again,
It's true. Is that
isn't it? And that's pretty
well?
good, but you have to be in combat during your psychic phase, which is really
Uh,
hard.
yeah,
But it's less hard now because the new mirror model, the contorted epitome,
I think it's
which
cool.
costs 195 points, and it casts 2 powers, which is pretty good.
Damn.
It has this ability where if an enemy unit within 6 inches of any models with this ability is chosen to fall back, your opponent must roll 3d6. That unit can only fall back if the total is less than the highest leadership characteristic in that unit.
Oh damn. So the higher your leadership, the more no, the better it is, right? So if you have really low
Yeah, the
leadership,
easier it is.
you have to roll like you got like some, orc boys trying to run away and they're like "Brr."
Well, they would automatically pass because their leadership like 30.
But I thought you have to if it rolls lower okay, never mind. I got it backwards.
Yeah.
I thought if it was if they rolled lower they'd be safe to fall back.
Yes.
Yeah, so it'd
Which
be
means that
harder
if
to
your leadership is higher, then you can fall back because
oh
you have to roll lower than your leadership.
yeah, so if you have to roll lower than your leadership, you'd have to get 3 1s, right?
No, you'd have to get 3 6s because your leadership 30 and 18 is less than 30.
Oh,
So if you have less
I
than
thought you said leadership 3, and that's why I was confused.
no, they're leader like the orcs are as many leadership as they have guys.
Oh
So it's
God, I
they're
did.
like leadership 30.
This is me showing how little I know about orcs. Okay, if it was like Chaos Space Marine cultists, it would be screwed.
Yeah, they'd have to roll less than 7 or 6
Yeah, with 3 dice, that's
to run away. And
highly
also
unlikely.
I think we have stuff available that lowers people's leadership.
True.
Spells maybe, I think.
I feel like we both hover prepared for this. We know too much.
There's a spell, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm like
Yeah,
I
there's a spell that subtracts 1 leadership,
nice.
which
That'll help.
isn't very good spell, but it
Yeah,
could
it's
help if they don't run away and they needed to run away, then it's pretty powerful.
yeah. Let's see. What like I know they've gotten what is that new oh what the hell is it called? Is it just a new Keeper of Secrets that came out recently? The like
Yeah, there's the new Keeper of Secrets and the Mirror, and there's also the Demon Prince Herald combo
that's the
character.
one. Yeah. What do you
That
think of
thing is.
the?
Hmm?
What I was gonna ask what you thought of it, and you just started, so it's all good.
Oh, that one is that's probably the best option out of the three. He's she,
Shim.
whatever. Yeah, it's
Dang.
210 points, which is 30 points more than a winged demon prince. But it moves 9. It has 8 attacks, but then it attacks twice, so it has 16 attacks.
Holy
Except for it's actually more than that because so when you get into combat with it,
yeah,
you pick one of its weapons, right?
yeah.
And one of its weapons is the Axe of Dominion, which is plus 3 strength, minus 3 AP, 3 damage. So that would
Jesus.
make it strength 7 minus 3, 3 damage, and you make 8 attacks with that. And then after you make those attacks, you get to fight twice with this thing,
Yeah.
but you can't pick the same weapon. You have to pick the other weapon.
Nice. Okay.
And the other weapon is strength user, so 4 minus 1 1 damage, but you make D3 hit rolls every time you attack with it. So you would be making 8 D3 strength 4 minus 1 1 damage attacks.
Now, do you only keep one for the three rolls, or do you just? Is that what it's
No, you
saying?
you just you roll 8 D3 and then you make that many attack rolls.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it could be a lot of attacks. That's for dang sure.
Damn, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not strength 4 because it adds 1 to its own strength. So it's strength 5 or strength 8.
Hell yeah. And that's without any strength buffs.
Yeah, he just buffs himself or herself. And it also rerolls ones and hits on twos, so it hits with all of its attacks.
Damn. That's yeah. How do you not like? You'd have to roll a one and re-roll a one to miss hitting with an attack. It's pretty
Yeah.
good. And
Yeah, I
that
think
model
that that
looks
thing
sick too.
yeah, and it moves 9 inches, so it's not slow. And then it can run and charge. I mean,
I mean, the only thing it's really missing out on is wings, but with those attacks, I mean,
yeah,
NBD.
it's pretty it's pretty killy. I'm a fan of it for sure. It's just what do we pair it with?
Just like
That's
a
the problem.
yeah, I was because like usually it's just been like I've been thinking um mixing it with Chaos Space Marines, but I think you'd have to mix it with like the Demonettes and then oh, what's that the like licky tongue guys, the riders, I forgot what they're called.
Seekers,
Yes, Seekers. Yeah, and then just kind of
licky tongue guys.
hey, you knew what I was talking about.
The licky tongue guys.
Hell
The
yeah.
Mauler fiends also have licky tongues.
It's true, yeah, and then I think you could do those as like a front wave, and then the Mauler Fiend Discordant coming in after that,
So
or
we
at the
could
same
go
time because they
go
can all
for
run super fast.
a full licky tongue list.
Yes. Hey, we were talking about the delights of Slaanesh. Licky tongue is pretty good descriptor. So I think that's how I would kind of imagine running the army. I don't know how to keep it points effective. Is my the only thing because like, well, I guess if you got one regular demon prince as well as that the new herald demon prince, you could probably get enough that you could get enough space where everybody could charge. Oh, the Lord Discordant would help too. So I think between three leaders, you could cover a really significant amount of area with anybody who needed to move and charge. So you wouldn't have to worry too much about it.
Well, it's only the guys that are actually in your Chaos Demon detachment.
Yeah.
So you can't just
Oh, Lord
like
Discordant then. Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't. And if you take a demon prince with the intoxicating elixir, then it doesn't help you either.
Yeah. So you'd have to do it just a regular flying demon prince, no, just straight Slaanesh, straight without the
Right.
one of the most
Or like
awesome artifacts in
or
the game.
heralds on steed because they're hella fast.
Yeah, those heralds on steeds are awesome.
They go
12, I think.
14 inches.
14, Jesus. Yeah,
Yeah.
they go and get you. Because I feel like from reading all of the profiles, everything just felt super squishy. So I feel like you got to get in there and do some real damage early, so that way you don't run out of steam before you just wiped off the board.
Right. So I'm trying to sort out a list that could be used here.
Perfect.
I'm thinking that we want the herald on steed definitely to just make it so anybody that needs to can advance and charge, just move it up with them.
Makes sense.
And we definitely want that new herald demon prince thing. That's very cool.
So cool and such a badass model.
Do you think Mauler fiends are better or the venom crawler is better?
I think the Venom Crawler is cheaper and it has a lot of good things for the cost of it. I'd kind of almost lead towards the Venom Crawlers also because I feel like they're more thematic. Like
They're 2 points cheaper.
oh, I thought it was like 10 points. Well, let's see. Who has more?
They have 2 less wounds.
But they have that injection thing that's really cool if you take it. The technovirus injector.
Well, that's the Lord Discordant. That's not the Venom Crawler.
No, the Venom Crawler. I thought the Venom Crawler had it too.
No.
Oh, weird. Okay, that is disappointing.
Reality is often disappointing.
All right, Thanos, calm down there.
Hey, Thanos, get out of here, Thanos.
Thanos, what are you doing,
Hey,
man?
Thanos, why don't you just skedaddle, Thanos?
I gotta do my snappy thing. No one likes that, Thanos. Not to
Why
get too
don't
off
you
topic.
just skedaddle on out of here?
It's we've had enough of you, Captain Midwest America.
Is the stream going?
Yeah, it is. My camera just froze because it disconnected and reconnected. I've had a problem with my USB ports, so I'll put it back up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is something that is happening. I have to just reinstall the drivers, and I haven't had time to. But there, I'll just
How
slap it
could
over there
this
now.
happen
It's good to
to
go.
me?
You know how.
I made my mistakes.
Oh man. So I
Okay.
guess maybe the Venom Crawler. You sure the Venom Crawler can't take that Techno Injector? I thought that was like one of its
Yes.
mouthpieces.
No.
Damn it! I feel stupid now. Never mind. So then yeah, the Mauler Fiend every time because
You big old goof.
that's what I do. Yeah, everybody's gonna know. No. So
Hmm.
I feel like now does the Lord Discordant does it count as dipping into Chaos Space Marines? Because I feel like if we're going to, we should back them up with
Yeah.
some Noise Marines.
Well, they don't synergize with anything in the list.
That's true. Obliterators. No. So that to work with the Lord Discordant. I just love obliterators. I mean, who doesn't?
Obliterator. Barely
Barely
know
know
her.
her. That's been
Barely
a
know.
bit. Been made that joke. It's been a long time. So let's see. Slash is a tough one, just because you know, I feel like thematically they're all supposed to just run in and die, but I don't know how to make them live longer. Is the big problem?
Go first, then they don't run in and die because
They'll
you're
already
going
be
first.
dead.
Hey, a Macarena.
Number one, number two, number three. It's weird.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'm kicking around a little list here
Okay.
with
Well.
the Herald on Steed, the new Herald Demon Prince character, the cool mirror thing to get some spell casting, and it's pretty good in close combat, and the
Okay.
thing where they can't run.
Okay.
And then 2 units of 30 demonettes
Yes.
with the instrument, so that they get +1 to their charge and advance, so +2 inches total.
Ooh,
And 1 unit of 29 because we had to cut one. And then
I'm sure
flawless
she liked it. It's
host.
fine.
Yeah, she loves being cut. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Uh, flawless host patrol
Oh,
with
interesting.
a demon prince with wings,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll make that the warlord, and we'll make it Slaanesh, and we'll give it the intoxicating elixir, and we'll
Nice.
give it the warlord trait ultimate confidence. So on any 6 up to hit, it does 3 extra attacks. So we'll get a crap ton of attacks from that,
That's pretty damn fantastic.
and then a unit of cultists, and
Damn
then
cultists.
a spearhead of flawless host with the 2 lord discordants and 3 Mauler fiends with the lasher tendrils.
How many points is this list?
2,000.
That sounds so much fun to run. Like you have a bunch of big, meaty, fun things to play with, and then a jillion demonettes just screaming across the field to screw people up with, a little bit of
Yeah,
decent backup. Like I like it. I
just
like where you went
just
here.
soak some stuff.
And I think the Flawless Toast is a great, actually, fluff wise, Flawless Toast is a great Slanesh
Yeah,
synergistic, as far as that.
it's a Slaanesh warband. So
Hell yeah.
we got all our guys running up. The Demonettes are probably pretty underrated because they're going to be strength 4 as long as they're near the Herald.
Yeah. Oh,
They
yeah.
do 3 attacks each, and the sergeant does 4 attacks,
Damn, they're like
and all
bloodletters.
their yeah, all their attacks have -1 AP,
Whoa, what?
and
That's better than berserkers.
on a wound roll of 6 plus, it's -4 AP instead of -1.
It's way better than berserkers. No.
Yeah, and they're only 4 points each.
Are you serious? Damn,
It's
dude.
cheaper than cultists.
Oh, I need to get some demonettes here.
90 demonettes.
90. That's probably a bit much. It's like just $600 in demonettes.
Oh, just kidding, they're 6 points, not 4
Oh, okay.
points.
Yeah. Well, in that case, abandon it. They're
No, the
trash.
list is
It's
trash.
garbage.
Slaanesh
Get
is
it out.
trash.
Get it out of here.
I
No.
hate this entire game. I don't wanna play it anymore.
That's it. I quit. No, actually, I. It sounds like I said, like a hell of fun to play, just because you have so much running at them with the ability to make it there pretty easily. Like you don't have to be like hoping on warp time or anything like that. It's just like this is what they do. They're gonna get you. You
Yeah,
know.
we're very fast, and a bunch of 5-up invulns.
Yeah.
You can make it a 4-up invuln with the warp surge stratagem.
Oh yeah. And then you'll have plenty of points to mess around with the spearhead. And you didn't go like we don't quite have a battalion, but we still have what 4 or 5 extra points.
Well, there's 1 battalion.
There is a
There's
battalion. Okay.
the demon battalion to
Oh,
take all
that's
the
right. Yeah, with all the
units.
demonettes. Yeah, so you've got plenty of points to mess around with actually, as far as command points.
Yeah,
And
6 plus 3, 9 command points.
so yeah, you can use those to make sure all of your spells go off if depending on what you're needing, and you just make all your
Reroll
charges.
charges.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like actually pretty dangerous army. Like, because not only do you have to try to mow through all of those demonettes, if they get you, they're like, have getting swarmed by Tyranids or Gene Stealers. Like, it's just gonna
Right.
be disgusting. And and then
And
once you're done dealing with them, there's all of this other stuff that's coming at you too.
yeah, you get held down until the big hitters come in and smash your face in.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to. I could see this being really effective against like other mob armies as well as and against things that have like large centerpieces. I think Astromos or guard would still probably be a bit of a problem for it just because they have so much shooting and
Well,
so
but
much
if you're able to
overwatch.
charge those things, then they have to fall back and they can't shoot.
True, but the overwatch is what I was thinking about because the demonettes aren't particularly. I guess
Yeah,
overwatch
but
isn't that bad.
Overwatch isn't even good.
That's true. So really, just salamanders standing around with flamers waiting for you to charge them is the thing you need to worry about.
Yeah, but just charge from
Uh,
more than 8 inches away.
that's fair. Any flyers actually? What would you do with like you'd send your demon prince after him?
Yes.
Okay.
This list might benefit from playing Helldrakes because then the Helldrakes could advance and charge, and they're super fast, and you could tie
Oh,
up anything you want.
yeah. You could actually get the Helldrakes into the back line, really preventing them from going anywhere. It's too
Yeah,
bad. Too bad Raptors and uh, I haven't even used them so long I forgot them. Lightning Blade guys.
warp talons.
Warp Talons. Too bad they're so expensive, and they really just can't make any sense to put in a list. Like, because
The warp talons could advance and charge.
yeah, they could advance a charge, and then they also would bypass a whole Overwatch, so they could bog down heavy shooters and just.
Well, they only would bypass Overwatch if they deep struck, and then
That's true.
you wouldn't be advancing and charging.
That's true. You'd be in turn 2.
Yeah.
Still,
But the Helldrake is an interesting option, I think.
yeah. Cool. So, like, actually, it might be let's see, what's the price difference between a Helldrake and a Mauler Fiend?
I think a Helldrake is cheaper.
Yeah, because
No, it's more expensive.
it is more expensive. I was gonna.
A Helldrake is 157 points if you have the autocannon, and
Oh,
nobody takes that. So it's actually 176 points so that you can
oof.
have the flamer.
Yeah, it's pretty significant investment, but
But if it ties up, like if you charge like 2 Lehman Russes with it,
yeah,
then it's paid for itself because it basically kills them for that turn because they
yeah,
can't shoot. They have to fall back and do nothing.
yeah, that's true.
And that's
That's
really strong.
that is really strong. If nothing else, you'll get command points out of somebody if they have to use a stratagem to make them so they can shoot. Damn, dude. Yeah. So would you do double Heldrakes or would you still take a Mauler Fiend? Because I feel like if we do double Heldrakes, then we don't really need the Lord Discordant, and then we should just do 4 Heldrakes now.
Just 4 million Helldrakes.
All of the Heldrakes now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you'd cut because the Lord Discordants do a crap ton of damage. They're
Yeah.
really strong. The Demon Prince that is generating a bunch of extra attacks is really strong.
Yeah. I guess you could
But
just
you
use.
could cut him and the cultists, and then you could take a that frees up 233 points, 230 points, just 230 points.
Okay.
And the Helldrakes costed
277 or 177.
167. So that would give you 167 times 2 is 334, right?
Yeah.
So we freed up 230.
Yeah.
334 minus 230 is
One.
134. Or 114,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's.
So you could cut down on the demonettes.
That's true.
You would have to cut 114 divided by 6.
A bit.
A bit. 19 demonettes.
So then you're down to how many demonettes now?
You would have a unit of 10 and 2 units of 30.
Oh, okay. That's still quite a lot of demonettes. I feel like that's worth it to get those Heldrakes on the field.
Yeah, that's a way that you could do it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think. Is that even allowed?
Oh,
How many
Heldrakes?
flyer spots does a spearhead detachment have?
Like one?
Is it 1 or is it 2 or is it 3?
What's the long since I've taken a spearhead?
2.
2?
So,
Nice.
so yeah, it works.
There you go. Yeah, I like that. I like that better just because it solves not only solves the fire problem, but it also has that get in and mire down that back line, so you don't have to worry about tanks or dreadnoughts or hell, you could even tie up a knight. You know.
Some metric crap ton of demon engines.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, just call it delightful agonies, the demon engine.
Yeah.
And it will be better than that movie of Mortal Engines. I mean, that's for damn sure. You'll get much more entertainment out
Was
of
that
it.
a bad movie? I didn't watch it.
Oh, dude, it was
The
basically
trailer was cool.
the
Come on.
trailer was everything in the trailer was the best part of the movie. It's like, hey, what if cities moved for no reason, and they actually like fought each other?
Yeah, and they're
But it was really
boats,
boring.
boats.
Yeah, pretty much. And like, there's like giant city-eating cities that eat other cities for fuel, but they don't need to if they would just stay in one fucking place. like, like all of their problems are caused and solved by moving, and it's like, just stop. And like, there's no way you're telling everybody who lives in that city, quick, we're moving, get to where it's. No, dude, hundreds dying when that thing transforms. Like, basically, somebody's like, hey, what if the Transformers had no personalities and they were like city sized?
But they're just boats.
Exactly.
You're viewing this wrong. It's a
Oh,
boat.
oh man. Yeah, it was real annoying. But this sounds like a hell of a lot of fun. I feel like that's a good solution to get Slaanesh. Oh man. Plus the flawless toast. You'd have some pretty bitchin' looking things if you did it right. Because I think the flawless toasts have a really interesting paint scheme to them, like with that whole fleshy bits looking thing, and then with the purple and everything.
They're very cool.
Oh man, too bad there's no room for some greater possessed in there. That would be. I just like those. That's all. No, you could. Remember we were talking about how to make him into just an utter meat grinder, just one guy, just all of the
Yeah.
buffs. That was fun. But I think, yeah, I think that does solve pretty much all of the problems. You get up in people's faces. You can deal with all of your AP. You're going to tear through tanks and knights, and
Tear
then
through them.
And then if you come into hordes, you have, the horde demolishers and your demon princes that'll just. I'm going to walk into this horde and walk out the other side completely untouched because I got 100 billion attacks while they didn't even get a fight back.
Yeah.
Because, so I think, yeah, you solved pretty much all the problems there.
I
And
think
even,
it'd be fun. I don't know if it's a tier 1 list or anything, but
oh, yeah.
it could be okay.
I mean, it sounds like it and our Grey Knights lists would have a good fight. You know, like maybe that's
I think this list is pretty good against the Grey Knight list.
what? No, the Grey Knights are made to fight demons. They clearly will win.
I feel like that stupid Herald Demon Prince character would just like one shot all the paladins with his 3 damage weapon.
Dude, he's ridiculous. Not only that,
Rest
like
in peace, paladins.
R.I.P. Grey Knights, R.I.P. Yeah, no, he seriously would. I can't think of anything that that in that Grey Knight list that would actually stand up to that Demon Prince at all. It would just
Drago.
Drago, literally Drago. That's it, and everything else just getting mowed to pieces.
My boy Drago.
Oh man, that's funny. So, any particular powers or anything that you'd be interested in that people would consider taking while making this list? I forgot to go over the psychic phase.
Yeah, my phone died, but there was a psychic power that makes it so you target an enemy unit and then it has -1 to hit, and that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Let's see if I can bring it
Uh,
up.
then there's another power that lets you fight immediately during the psychic phase. So if you manage to wrap demonettes around something so that it can't run,
Yeah.
and then you get like a demon prince in there, and then you make the demon prince fight again, or the Lord Discordant fight again, then you could do a crap ton of damage if people,
Hot damn.
or if they can't retreat because of the contorted epitome special ability, they can't pass their leadership.
Oh yeah.
Then
There.
you can just fight them again during your psychic phase.
Just land one of your Helldrakes behind them. You're going nowhere. Because if they if they literally can't fall back, then don't they just
You thought you
automatically
were
die?
going? No,
No, no auto die anymore.
there's no just automatic dying. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because like they'd be like, "Well, we're not falling back. Fight on, men."
I guess we're stuck in combat.
Just like my ex-wife, am I right? And then that guy just instantly gets chopped in half by a giant claw. Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah. So actually, this is what I think one of the stronger lists, like as far as dealing with it, because I think this could do actually pretty good in a 2K game for most places. Like, because you solved the Imperial Guard problem, you've solved the I mean the you might have a little trouble with Eldari just because they have all of the hit from hiding and being cowardly little jerks, and also the sniping on characters. But I still think they'd put up a really good fight just because no matter how you can only hide for so long and they cover so much of the board. I think like Craft World Eldari Drukari combo would be the only thing I can think of that would really cause like a huge amount of problems. Other that or things that can live through everything, like a Plague Marine, Death Guard army would probably might cause some problems, especially with the amount of auras that Death Guard have. But as far as just like most of the other armies out there, I feel like you're gonna mow through. You're gonna have a really fun time, I should say. You're probably not gonna mow through a whole ton, but you'll have a really fun, even or better than time fighting like orcs, fighting Imperial Guard, fighting Necrons, fighting pretty much, and then just like any other demon armies that aren't disgustingly resilient. And then yeah, I just really haven't. I mean, other than things that have ridiculous saves like Custodes would probably just, if built right, be a bit of a trouble. But I think this could be a really fun competitive army. Maybe tier two, tier one if you're lucky.
I don't know. I don't know how good it would be. I don't know. I mean, like a lot of the mass of it can be killed by shooting pretty easily, but
Hmm,
it all has a 5 up invuln.
that's good for something.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty strong. I don't know.
Hmm.
I'd
But
be interested to see it played
yeah, this one would
or
be very
something
interesting.
similar played. It's just shooting is really good in the game, and this list
Yeah,
is 0% shooting.
that is a significant problem for the list. I will admit, but I still think
But it is fast.
it's one of those. It does cover distance fast enough that you can actually, you can get away with not getting shot to utter decimation like a lot of armies trying to get across the board before you get there.
Yeah, hopefully you can charge in with your Helldrake and tie up their best shooting, and then
Yeah,
uh, yeah,
yeah. 'Cause you can get like
pretty
the big things. I think, yeah, I think you're right.
It's pretty archetypical, like hammer and anvil. You got your hammer characters, and you got your anvil big blobs of demonettes, and you wrap the anvil around them and then hammer them to death with your characters.
Yeah, I like that it's straightforward. And like we've seen how well straightforward lists do, because it's one of those, it's straightforward, but it takes a lot to stop them from doing what they do. Like you have to mow through, at least 70 demonettes at the low end of the demonette scale,
Yeah,
which, I mean, when all of them having a 5-up invuln makes that a lot harder to do in a single turn or even 2 turns. So, and then when you committed all your shooting to that, all of a sudden now you have all this big shit that you forgot to shoot, and it is much bigger a problem when it gets to you. And it's not
yeah.
gonna have any trouble getting to you. So I feel like, yeah, I feel like it's gonna be really competitive.
Yep. There's not a lot of mistakes that you can make
Yeah,
playing this list.
and
You just go.
and then with your demon prince re-rolling ones and hitting on twos, your herald prince, I should say,
Yeah,
that takes a lot of the math out of it. Your demonettes having all like ridiculous AP for their cost, and then you can go up in even more AP with on a six, like, so they'll tear through significantly, make it really like at a 4-up. If they're mowing through, little, blobs of things, it makes it almost impossible to save on some things. So yeah.
very cost effective. At
Very.
6 points each.
Yeah, I would say like like that would be one of those things, like considering taking a demon attachment just to stuff it with demonettes and that herald and put it in any chaos army and you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, there's also Slaanesh has this relic that's pretty strong where it's something like once per game you hit them with it. The forbidden gem, you can hit a character with it and it makes it so they can't do anything for that phase. So you
Damn.
can use it on a knight character and then it can't shoot.
Damn. That's significant actually. Like that's, is it,
Yeah.
does it have a range?
Once per battle, target an enemy character within 12 inches. Roll 3d6. If the result is more than the target's leadership, they will be unable to act until the end of the phase.
Hot damn, that is good.
Yeah, and you can command point that because you're the one rolling the 3d6 on that one.
And it's not part of a phase, so you don't have to worry about when you do it.
Well, it's during whatever phase they are. You're trying to stop them from doing it.
Oh, so it's on their phase? Their
Yeah,
turn.
it's during
Okay.
their.
Nice. Damn, that is significant. I mean, some of the higher leadership characters will be hard to get that on, but I feel like there's a lot of really good shooters that don't have that great of leadership that
Well,
would
the
work
average on
this well.
3d6 is 10 and a half.
Oh shit. Yeah, no, that's
So
gonna
on
be real
average,
good.
you stop anything,
Yeah.
and then with the reroll, it's quite likely to go off.
Hell yeah.
You got
Holy yeah.
your Herald on Steed that can carry that for you, and he moves 14 inches and then advances. And so you can get hella close if you want to use that on a knight.
You stop it.
Hey, no shooting.
Imagine having
I
one of
don't like
those
shooting.
knights that just has guns and you're just like, gonna have to step on me then, bro.
Yeah, go ahead and charge my stuff that only does melee. Go
Yeah,
on.
bring
Go
it.
on then.
Come on. You know you want to step on me. Oh man. Yeah. So there you go. That was pretty awesome Slaanesh demon list, combined with a little bit of the flawless host, but keeping all of the fluff of this wonderfully, amazingly, crucially disgusting, kind of theme to it. You got all of the. You're not diving into any other gods. You're keeping it a single god Slaanesh army, and enjoying all the fun toys that I feel like both of them have to offer. So there you go. There's
Yep.
the Slaanesh episode. Uh, we're take off. Any last thoughts from for Slaanesh Fairs?
Slaanesh is cool. Not enough people play Slaanesh.
But
Play Slaanesh. Play this list.
see, I can agree with that. I'd love to see more Slaanesh out there, just because they obviously want people to play it. They're releasing stuff for it all the time, but also, I mean, I feel like nobody's gonna know what you're doing for now, and you can have that little spike of, wait, that does what? Oh yeah, you forgot about that, didn't you? And take advantage of it before everybody else jumps on the Slaanesh train. Have some fun with the people you normally play with.
Yeah, when you hit them with your 8 attack plus 8d3 attack Demon Prince.
Disgusting.
Get him.
Yeah, re-rolls ones and hits on twos. Doesn't get much better than that.
Get him.
Get
Let him
him,
know.
as Slaanesh would say herself. Get him. All right. So as always, Ferris would like to thank you for tuning into his show. No.
Thanks for watching my show. Tweet at the show. Hitch.
Oh, my
Ask
camera's all
questions.
backwards.
Whatever. Do whatever you want to do.
Yep.
We'd be happy to talk to you. We like people,
Yeah.
especially people that use their mom's Amazon account to subscribe with Twitch Prime. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. We do love that. That particular audience. And if you have any suggestions or want to hear us talk about any particular army, yeah, just like I said, hit me up on Twitter over there. And yeah, we will catch y'all guys next. Well, not next Thursday, but the Thursday after because I'm on vacation next week, so I will be out of town. Um, I'm trying to convince Ferris to do a one-man show with the stream key. He's thinking about it. We'll see if it happens. So,
thanks for
uh,
watching.
thanks for watching, everybody. Catch
Take
you
care,
later.
everyone. Peace.
Bye. Out.